Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to your Red Room review of the week, I guess. It seems like I do one of these every week, but rest assured, after this one, I don't have any Red Room products to review, so maybe I gotta go buy one, but I lost my ATM card, so I can't actually buy anything for the next, 5 to 7 working days, which is killing me. But on to this one. As you remember, End of the Innocence, or End of Innocence, I think End of the Innocence is a song by Don Henley, but would make for a great theme song if you ever do this, the live action movie. But in the first section, I reviewed the game and the mechanics. Second section, I reviewed the town of San Cristobal, and here at the end of the book, a smaller section, so a smaller video, is the town of Oakbrook, set roughly in Illinois, although it could be situated anywhere in the Midwest. A cozy little town, not too big, not a sprawling metropolis. That's San Cristobal Bay. There's a map of it, including the various areas, including the ravine, which I think is a fun area that I'll get to in just a second. The orchards, the railroad row, railroad junction, town square, Victoria Hill, Old Mill Woods, something street. The map is all jacked up in the middle, Miguel. Not your fault, but maybe if you could post this somewhere on your Discord so we can see what's in the center. The Maple District, Founders Cemetery. Right off the bat, it talks about the description of the town and the maple trees and all that. We get to color changing leaves during autumn and things like that to set the tone, which at the inspired me to think of a campaign where I could actually use both settings at different times of the year. Some of the supernatural elements include the clock tower and the cemetery and various places and things that happen at different times of year and in different places. Obviously, a couple of mysterious characters, the blue cat that can be seen every once in a while, watching people doing cat things, up to no good. Actually, this cat seems to be like a good guy. But places where time behaves differently, and shadows move and statues move and things like that. All kinds of cool, creepy stuff. But this particular section had a decidedly more Hardy Boys theme to it, I want to say. More of a solve the mystery, but the mysteries were oftentimes mundane and not actually supernatural. There are some supernatural things here, but sometimes the story hooks and the ideas that are in here are nothing mysterious, yes, but well within the realm of normalcy, I guess. It describes all the individual areas in great detail, with like on one side it'll be the description of the place, and then on the other side of the page will be what the kids know, like the other kids, not the players, or maybe even some of the player characters could know this, but I think it would be more fun to have them find this out through interaction with the other NPCs. Unexplained phenomenon, which a lot of these do tend to repeat. The one where the shadows look differently at different angles, that's kind of how that kind of works sometimes. And things turning up, and I noticed you did that a lot, where things show up, lost things show up regularly. I wonder where they go. I think that would be an interesting mystery to find out where these lost things go, and then because they mysteriously reappear. So where do they go? That would be an interesting plot hook here. Maybe something I would do. I really dig the ghost trains with the railway yards and trains coming and going. that aren't on the schedule. I think there's both a supernatural and a natural explanation that both would lead into the story that started percolating in my brain. And I'm going to tell you about that in private over on Discord, because I don't want anybody stealing my ideas. I'm getting really paranoid about that as I get older. The orchards, the outskirts, the ravine, that's coming up. The old mill woods. I definitely sense a little bit of your Twin Peaks influence here. This could have easily been set in Twin Peaks more so than obviously San Cristobal, but I definitely like San Cristobal more. Growing up as a beach kid, I could already smell the salt in the air and hear the seagulls and the roar of the waves in my ears as I was reading it. This reminded me of my time in Virginia, which was kind of mysterious, especially with the historical significance of where I lived. I got something in my eye, guys. Then we get into the various little mysteries. They're like 2-page mysteries. The Blue Cat's Warning with the comic book / bookstore, and the Blue Cat kind of leading the players. I find that one would be best for a much younger audience, whereas some of the other ones, the Blue Cat just seems kind of a little heavy-handed in the way of leading them to clues, but for kids it would be a little more acceptable. But if you did it in a TV show or a movie, you definitely got to have the Blue Cat. Just the idea of someone dying a cat just strikes me as hysterical. I'm kidding, folks. The Clock Tower Key, the additional adventure hooks, and then the Oakbrook Adventure Generator gives you all kinds of random stuff. There was only 2 kind of typos. One, I forgot to mark. You spelled the word already with 2 R's and no E. I'll see if I can find that going back through it. And then there's the major characters. Far fewer characters in this section, which leaves more room for the players. I noticed that the 2 old ladies who run the movie theater were not here. I would have liked to have seen more. They were actually 2 of your more interesting characters in this section. But major characters right here. Mayor Howard Thimbleton. In the beginning it says, all dates and characters' ages assume you're starting the game sometime in the 1970s. If you set it in a different timeline, you'll need to adjust the numbers accordingly. And then it gets to Major Howard Thimbleton, 3rd-generation mayor and former high school literature teacher. Howard Thimbleton, 59, is the official leader and unofficial keeper of the town's tradition. He knows that the mystique behind Oakbrook requires a careful balance between progress and preservation. Okay, it says right here, down below, widowed wife Margaret disappeared mysteriously in 1982. So she disappears in the future, or maybe you meant 1962. Either way, that is a mystery. I guess we'll have to solve together later on down the road. I really like the sheriff character, Sheriff Dan Miller, kind of the guy keeping tabs on all the mysterious happenings as well as mysterious artifacts that pop up. Then there's the and I totally, I think we all know where this comes from. Mr. Gloom, owner and operator of Autumn's Last Fair, which appears in Oakbrook each September. No one knows his true age or origin, though some old folks claim to remember him visiting the town in their youth. I wonder if it's a man in black kind of thing, or if he's a supernatural entity. I'm going with the latter of the two, thinking of Something Wicked This Way Comes. But all in all, I think this is one of your better works. I enjoyed this far more than some. I'm not going to mention which ones because I enjoyed them all, but this one really just hit me right here because there's hope and there's mystery and there's excitement and adventure and intrigue, but none of the really awful grim darkness that some of your books have, and I know those are well placed; they belong where they are. But this one, this is one of those games that you could literally play with anybody and not have to worry about any of the things we worry about today in modern gaming. You know, with the X cards and blah blah blah. You could just have some regular folk, from young teenagers to the elderly, play in this game and enjoy it for all of its uniqueness and mystery and intrigue and excitement and nostalgia. Definitely big on the latter. But that's what I've got for you folks. I hope you guys will check this one out. If you're looking for something, kids and bikes didn't do it half as well as this and the other games that I have along those lines don't encompass the whole genre. They kind of focus on specific things like the Stranger Things phenomenon or the Erie, Indiana. But I've got a great idea, Miguel, for something that would allow you to run this game and a whole bunch of other stuff in a long sort of campaign that might suit your style of not running long campaigns, whereas you could break it up. But we'll talk about that later. Everyone else, go grab yourself a copy of this. It's on Amazon. I think it was $20, maybe 25. Worth every penny of it. So much so that if you put this in hardback, I'll grab a copy and send this one off to one of my friends out there in TV land. So everybody, go tell Miguel to see if he can get this done in hardback, unless it's through Lulu, because I don't like those guys. They're just slow as molasses, and just Amazon is like blink and it's there. But that's what I got. I will see you guys in about 45 minutes with Second Breakfast. Miguel, if you're up, you're awake, you want to come hang out on Second Breakfast, we can talk more about this. Otherwise, we can just talk in Discord. Everybody else, love you guys. See you in the funny papers.